This podcast is brought to you in association with From Sweden with Love, one of the oldest fan sites dedicated to the world of 007. Online since 2004 and also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Why not check them out today? JamesBond007.se. Nobody does it better. Or as they say in Stockholm these days, ingen gör det bättre.
Every film every stunt every story stunts, Bond stunts. Welcome to the YouTube series. Right, I want to start with a couple of amendments this week because I want to make things clear. Last week, of course, I couldn't name this guy here. It's Ray DeHaan. Never recognised Ray, but I was told that was Ray, and quite right. I'd also wanted to point out that's Gary Powell, Ray DeHaan, and Julian Spencer in the first part. And this is an interesting thing. Again, I've always been told that this was Andy Bennett doing the knockdown. A wonderful story arrived where I was told that on the day or the week of filming, a Russian stuntman was approached and was told, we're going to do a wire, we're going to do this. And he effectively said something along the lines of, I am a Russian stuntman. I have been a Russian stuntman for 25 years. I don't need wires. I don't need this. I will roll up and get over the car over the top of the bridge and into the water. It is something I will do. Please, don't worry. And apparently that's what he did. Now, again, I've not had that verified, but it's a terrific story, the idea that this guy would walk up and go, what do you need doing? Nah, easy, leave it to me, I'll sort it, it's fine. Just goes to prove, if there was ever proof needed, that sometimes stuntmen and performers are from different worlds. They're polar opposites in certain countries. And some of those Russian stunt guys, they are pretty extraordinary. Well, there's a good example of that, if indeed that was the case. But I wanted to add those just to make sure that we're getting all the bits and pieces. So let's have a look at Part 2, Goldeneye Part 2, and we are going to start, we're starting Q's workshop, I think, because there's a couple of lovely little moments in there which need to be taken into consideration. It's always the stuff, I think, really, that that puts the film together and blends it together when you've got some sort of cohesion. Here's a great example of a prop in the background. Stuntman Sean McCabe walks in, and then that happens, and he's plastered up against the side. It's just a little gag. Here, in the background, on the phone, is Tracy Edden. Tracy Edden, of course, the main double on the picture, and she grabs the phone. This is what you did before mobile phones. This is hands-free if you want to drive your car, by the way. No, legitimately, it really is. And propped it underneath her ear, between her shoulder, grabs on tight. You see the cylinders in the background against the wall. They are going to be supplying the gas cylinders. They're going to be supplying that the air that flies through it. And there she goes, disappearing off into the distance at one hell of a rate of knots. Gave herself quite a bit of whiplash, so I'm told. But afterwards, Pierce went over and asked her if she was okay, and it kind of made everything all right. So, Pierce saves the day again. Although, what are you doing? Don't touch that. It's his lunch. Now, let's go and have a look at. I've used the title "Run, Jump, Shoot" here because it makes a good example. The guard is Graham Crowther. He gets shot, and all hell now breaks out loose. The little fight in here, coming through the doorway at a rapid rate of knots. Once again, Gary Powell. The same faces keep cropping up because the stunt team was actually very small. A lot of other guys popped in from time to time, did a few bits here and there, but majority of the guys are the same bunch, as we'll see here. These are many, many examples of the same people doing the same stuff over and over again. Lots of gunplay everywhere. Here's Peter Padero and Lyndon Helliwell. Lyndon now disappearing through the window. Nice job, that. And top of the stairs, Andreas Petridis. And then as they come around, there's Terry Forrestal in the office, who's now going to get blown across the desk. Way, look at that. There he goes. And then a bunch of lads coming up the stairs, Mark Henson being one of them, who was killed earlier in the pre-title sequence. Paul Heisman, who gets killed every 5 minutes in this picture. Look, because he's back at the top of the stairs again. He's fine. Those bullets never killed him at all. He's just fine. He's okay. Nick Powell in the doorway. This is in the library section. And real squibs going off, explosions going off. Mark Cass and Nick Powell again. And of course, look at this. The floor gives away. And Tracy Eden now falls through the gap. And guess who she's caught by? He's Paul Heisman again. Look, he's everywhere, this boy. He could probably have done all of the stunts in the movie on his own, I dare say. Because he's very versatile, very clearly, according to that. Now, Pierce has to use the belt to get out of the building. Simon Crane is now doubling for Pierce. Swings across, gives Paul Herbert a crack in the chops on the way past. And then out through the window and down onto the wagon below. Nice landing, that too. Pierce does a good job jumping down from here. Look, that's not easy. Onto the boat, the Manticore, and Bond is boarding the boat, and that is Jamie Edgell. We're going to see a lot of Jamie Edgell in this picture. He's the deckhand, rather handy deckhand. Look, so because Pierce goes into this room here and wanders around rather stealthily, all good, sees the boat going away, and then catches sight of Jamie coming at him like a train here, look. Bang! Hits him with a towel, gives him a thwack, wraps it round his head and throws him down the stairs. Have that. Super job. How cool. How cool is Pierce Brosnan? Oh my God, fantastic. Brilliant casting. Also, why is the Admiral not smiling when he falls out and smiling when he lands on the floor? Did anybody ever notice that? That's really bothered me. Simon Crane now takes over again and doubles Pierce jumping down into the boat. Meanwhile, Simon and Wayne have got a little surprise from their guys back at the barracks in the shape of Famke. Look at that. Well, yes, you are indeed. Look. The lads here smiling quite happily, and good night. Bang, bang. Now Pierce has realised what's going on. He's now trying to get over to the boat and is trying to stop the helicopter from being stolen. First guy he runs into is Graham Crowther again at the bottom of the stairs. And then as he runs slightly further up, he's about to get hit by a herd of wildebeest that is Gary Powell. Bang! Big shoulder charge right into the wall. And the tiger has gone. Awkward. Now then, the big battle at the end, 007 versus 006, and I think this is terrific. There's a lot of really super stuff going on here. Years later, when you look at it, look, those bullets, why are they not hitting him? It's only mesh he's firing through, for heaven's sake. And look, there's no holes in the mesh either. He's fired that entire magazine there. Look, right, the gun's empty. Not a single hole in that mesh. That's serious stuff, that is. Wayne Michaels doing some of the doubling here. Jamie Edgell does a great deal more of it. And Jamie's going to perform something here which I think is absolutely magnificent when you look at it on screen. I've slowed it right down. Look at the height that Jamie gets here. He's diving down these stairs and diving, and look at the height he gets and the speed he's travelling. And as his left leg comes down, he just goes the other side of that bar, and that's a separate shot on the way past. So maybe he's injured himself a little bit in that. It wouldn't be unusual. But that's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. So much so, I think we should see it again, quite frankly. And here he is diving. Look, full dive. Look at the height and the speed he gets. That's magnificent. It's absolutely magnificent. And they managed to activate that squib, that fire squib that goes off, the gunshot squib landing just as he's vertical practically. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What a superb set to work on, and the work that these guys have done up here is just magnificent. Sean McCabe was doubling Sean Bean for a great deal of this. Got himself injured. I'll show you that in a minute. There's Jamie, in case you weren't familiar with what Jamie Edgell looked like. All hell breaking loose down here. Look, now here's fight here, throws him against the wall, and then Sean takes over and is thrown over the gate, which is now down a flight of steps, and that's where he injured himself quite severely. So Paul Heisman does a bit more of the doubling for the rest of the picture. They filmed this particular fight prior to that, which is why Sean doubles Sean there. But this is a very good fight. It's always up there in the those top 10 lists of good fights, particularly in Bond. These are terrific. Very, very active, the two of them. They're very physical. These are good, solid bits of work, using as much of the props as possible that's around them, making use of this. It's great. And they're both doing as much as they possibly can for real. I think there's only one moment here, maybe, where that's not Pierce, but that is. And then this part, of course, this is filmed a great deal of green screen. You've seen the behind-the-scenes stuff on this, probably. You can see that awkward little shuddery movement going on. But this is not vertical; it's horizontal. I've tilted the film, and I will tilt the film round to see what goes on here, because this is really how it would have looked on the stage. The green screen behind, and Jamie rolling backwards down the flat, it's a ladder, but over that surface there, and that's how that would have happened. And then, of course, Paul and Jamie again take over. Paul now falling backwards and is grabbed, and
for England, James? No. For me.
And there he goes. His 1,000-foot fall, however far it was, a bloody long fall, and he has no business living at the end of it. Falling through shot once again. Finally, Jamie Edgell in the studio. It's a studio shot. Makes it look very easy, but that's probably a fall of about 4 or 5 feet. So that's it for this week. Back next week with Tomorrow Never Dies, so don't miss any of that. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and follow all the other social media links too. The link for that is in the episode notes. Until next time, bye for now.